Welcome back everyone. Am I audible properly?
This meeting is being recorded.
So in the last session, we discussed about executing native queries using Spring Data JPA. Executing native query means you can write queries of your own database. If your database is supporting SQL, you can write that. You can execute that. We have also seen the way that how can we execute the native queries. So at first you have to write a query annotation where you have to provide the value of your native SQL query. Then you have to provide one attribute, that is native query equals to true. Then you have to write the return type. In most of the cases it will be list only. So return type and then method name. That's it. So that is how you can execute the native queries. But however, it's not required to execute the native queries here. So today we are going to see that how can we execute derived queries using Spring Data JPA. Derived query means we call that as JPQL, Java Persistence, Java Persistence Query Language, JPQL. So today we are going to discuss this particular section only. Lucky, what concept left from join? Tell me that concept, what is left? Outer join. So Lucky, we did a left and right join. What are these? These are not outer joins. They comes under outer join only, right? And when it comes to self join and cross join, so these two you can say, and that we will discuss using JPQL. So simple. JPQL stands for Java Persistence Query Language. It is the more finest way of writing SQL queries, or not SQL queries, using Spring Data JPA. So there comes something as JPQL, Java Persistence Query Language. And here it is very easy to understand actually. We can write JPQL by using we can write JPQL using two ways. The very first way is directly by writing method name. Second is by manually writing the query. By manually writing the query. So whenever you are talking about JPQL, if we execute the left join, then value comes null. But same query we execute, then left join execute. Rohit, what does it mean? Isn't it the same thing? So these are the two ways where you can write the JPQL, Java Persistence Query Language. First, you can write directly by writing method name. Second is you can manually type the query. So let's understand. So we will open Eclipse here. So let's first understand how can we writing derived queries using method name. Spring Data JPA supports some keywords which can be translated to a complete query. So there are lot of keywords here, and what will happen there? Those keyword will be translated to a complete query. For an example, if we have to write a query, so there will be a string SQL. If I have to write a query, so I will write select asterisk from employee where ID equals to something. This is a query. If I want to find any employee, then this is what I have to write. But by using data JPA method, select means you are trying to find something. That's it. You are writing where clause means by. ID. Find by ID. ID hope it will be a string. That's it. Created. So if you are writing this method, it will be automatically translated to this query. You don't have to do anything. But there is a note. We should create we should create all these methods in the repository which is extending JPA repository, as these are the JPA methods. So you can only write it wherever you are extending this. So already we have a project. I think this one only join using Spring Data JPA. So inside this, I'll open the repository and then employee repository we will open. So here you will see that we have created a left join, right join, full join, like that we have created. You can directly create a method. So if I am writing a method here which will return a list of employee, it will return a list of employee and the method name is find. You will get lot of option. Find by class, find by department ID, find by ID, find by name. Already you are getting these methods. So I will say find by ID. Find by ID which will accept a string ID. So we are trying to do something like this. Find by ID. Now in this particular section, if I am saying find by ID, what will be the return type of the employee? List. Will it return a list? No, it will not return a list. Then what it will return? Will it return a single employee? So the answer is yes, it will return a single employee. Now when I am creating this method here that find by ID, then string ID, let's check how our entity of employee is written. It has string ID, string name, string department ID. So ID is a string here. Now again it is error and it is saying that the return type is incompatible with CRUD repository find by ID. So it is telling something like this. So at first I will show it to you on some other thing. So we will create a new entity class here. You can name it anything. Let's say we will name it student. We will make it a entity class and then this is having a private int ID, first name, last name, and email ID. So these are the four fields that I have created here, where ID we will mention as primary key. We'll generate getter setters as well. Okay. As well as the toString method also. Okay. Now, if a entity class is there, it should have its repository. So here we will create an interface that is student repository and it should extend JPA repository of type student, and this is integer. Okay, so we have created the interface. Same way you can create service also, but I will not create here. Directly I will execute. So now we should store some of the data of students. So at first, here we will create a list of student. We'll create a new array list here. There only we will execute or let's say not list. We'll go to database. So here we got this student table. We'll check its description. So I think database is different here. Okay, we didn't created it. So we will start the main application so that it is creating the table. ID, name, email, first name, last name. So here only we'll insert some of the value. So we just added two students data. That's it. Now in this student repository, we will create a method here, and method like find. Whenever you are writing this find word, it will automatically write the select keyword. And here I will write find by. Now I am trying to write a where condition. It will automatically translate by to where. Here I will say find by ID. Find by ID less than 5. Something like less than. So here I have created a method that find by ID less than, and it will take one int ID kind of thing. Now, obviously it will return a particular list and list of student, right? So here I have created a method that list of student find by ID less than. Now Hibernate, or you can say the data JPA, will try to convert that query or that method name to a fully qualified query. So we have written a method name something like this, that find by ID less than, and you will provide one int ID type of value on the execution int ID. So JPA will write a equivalent query that select from student where ID is less than whatever ID you are providing. Now in the main app, we will try to use this. So student repository, I will mark at the rate of repository here, and we will create its object, that is student repository sr equals to, we will ask its object from container. Now we'll execute it. So we say sr dot, it will return a list of student as list equals to sr dot find by id less than 5. So here we have created a method, and I will just print this list. We have written the toString method, so it will be printing that. Let's execute this. And here Hibernate has data JPA has fired a query that select ID, email, first name, last name from student where ID is less than. Now, if I am changing something like this, and again I will hit a query. So here also I will change the method name, and we will start. Error. Just by changing the case of less, we got the error. It means that it is actually working like a keyword here. It is working like a keyword here. Whatever query you want to write, you can translate it into a method name. So we'll see some of the examples here. I will write a query. So query will be something like this, that select asterisk from student where name equals to, you are providing name. Create that method. So I will say find by. It is common, and by means B capital. What is the naming convention of method is, if we are talking about naming convention of methods, means kind of rules you can say. So method names are written in lower camel case. Lower camel case means first word will be all small, then it will follow camel case. Lower means first one will be lower, then it will follow camel case. That is the method name convention in Java. Now this is a query, select asterisk from, means simply you are writing find by. So here I am writing find by and find by name. It will accept one string name kind of thing. It will accept one string name kind of thing. Now there can be two students of the same name. It's possible. So again, we will get a list here. So list of student. Now this method name is created and I will write their equivalent query as well. So here the equivalent query will be select asterisk from student where ID is less than whatever value you are writing. And here we will write a query that select asterisk from student where name equals to something. So these are the queries that you are writing. We'll go there and execute. So this part is done. Now again you will get one list of student by executing one method that is find by name. Actually we will get error here. There is a possibility that we will get error here. Can anyone predict what will be the error? It's possible that we might get some error here. Error. Already predicted error. The reason is the how student class is there any field in student class with name? Here you have F name and L name. You have to write the same thing. Here field is F name and L name. You cannot write anything else. So let's try to write it. It means that name is not available. Here I will say find by F name. We can try this, that find by F name, and here also find by first name. Now we'll execute it again. An error again. Now if you already expected, actually if you read the error, huh? Sorry, error will come red color. Do you have color blindness? I will talk to James Gosselin today. Because this is not a syntax error, it's not a logical error. It's an error produced by the JPA method. Again, I will start asking question. How many type of error we have? Say compile time error, runtime error. What is a runtime error? Hmm. Like any example? Okay, I will ask you a question. I am writing one Java code. Is it runtime error or compile time error? No error. See it again. There is error. I am asking compile time error or runtime error. Sure. How? What compiler will check? Given input. You are not giving any input, man. Okay, one more code I will write. Bookish knowledge. Tell me, is there any error in this? This is pseudo code. Public class main, public static void main you can add. Is there any issue in this? Is it there any static void? Is there any issue in this? Is there any error? No? Are you sure? Read it again. Is there any error in this? Those who are joining online, is there any error in this pseudocode? No. Arey wow. Say. Don't read the messages, just say your answer. Okay, what will be the output of that should be? Okay, that also I will solve. No worries, man. Now say. There is an error in this code. Error is you are printing A multiply by B and you are doing some. What kind of error it is? Compile time or runtime? Compile time only. Crazy man. How it can be compile time error? Ah, runtime error. It is not even a compile time error. It is not even a runtime error. You will get output something like this, that 5 multiplied by 6 equals to 11. This will be your output. There will be no error in this code. It will work fine, but your output will come like this. 5, 6 are 30. You should get 30 as the output. First of all, stop saying that error are of two type, compile time and runtime. At the starting level, error are of two types. First is syntax error. Second is logical error. Whatever the syntax error are, they are reported by compiler with red color. But compiler will always ignore the logical errors because they are related to human beings. So they are typically depicted or typically represented using red color. However, that is not fixed. You can change it in Eclipse. You can change it to blue color, red color, green color, whatever you like. Red color is not a symbol of error, right? First thing. Second is syntax error is always reported by the compiler either on compile time or runtime. Logical errors are never reported. Even we can have an example here. So let's say in this only, I will write int a equals to 5, int b equals to 6, and we'll just print a message here. If I am executing this code now, what we will get? I plus 6 equals to 11. I have kept the multiply sign, not plus. So at first we are getting error. Okay, there is the error. We'll comment out this line first. Then again we'll execute. What we got? 5 multiplied by 6 equals to 11. Is it correct? Error? Error or not? It is correct. It is wrong. So it is a error or not? No. What is an error? One line definition. Programming mistake. So it is not a programming mistake. Is it a programming mistake or not? I am saying 5 multiplied by 6 is giving output as 11. It is a programming mistake or not? What should be the right answer here? 42, right? 30. Then you are getting 11. It's a programming mistake. But there is no mistake in the syntax. This is the logical error, and logical error are never coming in red color. Now, if I am writing here system dot out like this is a compile time error now, because it is the error in syntax, how you have to write something. Okay, I will write something here. You tell me what will be the type of error here. Hmm. Is it a compile time error or runtime error? This is not even an error. It's a infinite for loop. If you are writing like this, something like for loop, infinite loop. So there is a syntax of whatever example you are giving for errors, that type of errors, compile time, runtime. So remember this from now. Whenever someone is asking you about this red color error, so at first they are of two type. At first they are syntax error. Syntax means how you are writing a program that is wrong. Second type is logical error. Logical error. Now, inside syntax error, you will have two type of errors, generally compile time and runtime. But runtime are not fully syntax error. They are exception also, right? So whenever you have to give the definition, you can give like this, that errors are of two types, syntax and logical mistake. Okay, then they are the type of syntax error with combining the exception also. Anyways, let's come down to our thing. When I have created a method something like this, list of student find by f name, it is throwing me a error. It is throwing me a error that there is some syntax mistake, but it is not any syntax mistake. If I am writing here string t capital, now this syntax mistake is reported by Java because string is a class. S capital, all are small, so it will report. But here you have mistake in the JPA method name. So it is a logical mistake. You have some logical mistake in your code. It will not work. What is the logical mistake? Find by F capital, N capital. That can be a problem. So here we will write N small. F, N like this. We'll go to main class and we'll execute the same. Find by F name. We'll execute, and what we got this time? This time we got something as ID1, F name Shrikar, L name S, email, something like that. You got a student. So technically, how you are writing, you have to write find by every single time, where b by capital. Now, if your variable name was something like this, if your variable name was something like this, f name, means f name will be a new word here. So f should be capital. Then how you have written the name, you have to write in the same way. If there you have written like this, then here also you have to match it. Queries are written directly. So that is how you can write the query. Now we are able to, and this is the equivalent query that select ID, email, F name, last name from student, where first name is something. Whatever query, even it will generate you Oracle queries also. If you are on Oracle driver, we will create other methods also. So we are finding less than ID. Let's say I will find a student, list of student, find by, it is common. I will write find by ID greater than, and it will accept one int ID kind of thing. Okay, find by ID greater than. I will give you the schema of this method. So don't worry. We will get a list of student as list hr dot find by ID greater than, let's say 10, and then we will print the entire as list. And here we didn't got anything because we have, I think, two IDs, 1 and 7. So like that you will get. Now, if you are changing anything inside this method name, just R capital. Now, this is a logical mistake. You have some logical problem. It is not syntax error. Syntax error will occur only when you are not following the Java's official syntax. This is not the official syntax of Java. It is just a feature to you that you can use. Now it will throw error if I'm trying to find like this. These are the keywords supported by particular JPA. Error. Again, black color error because it is a quite logical error, right? So that is how you can write queries. We'll mention the structure of a data JPA query. A structure of data JPA query method. If you are preparing a query by its method, you have to write find and by. Mandatory. Find by. It's mandatory. Plus, inside that you have to attach the field name, whatever field name, find by id, find by f name, l name, whatever. So find by, then you have to attach the field name, then you can provide the condition after that, that find by id greater than, less than, equals to, these are the condition. Find by, then you can write field name, then you can write condition name, then order by, you can provide order by, and then you can provide the limit also. Now this is the particular structure of creating any query method like this. And this is the standard method. You have to follow the Same. I will provide you the list of all keywords also that you will be using. Now here we'll see some of the examples. So we'll just insert a table here. Here we will write method and equivalent query. What will be the equivalent query? If the method name is find by name, and this method will be accepting one string name kind of parameter, find by name. In that case, the equivalent query will be, here we are just mentioning that our table is equals to a employee table. Okay, these queries are like employee table or student anything. So it will say select E from employee, select asterisk from employee E where name equals to something. This is the equivalent query. Now here if you are writing find by age, it just in case you have the age parameter greater than, and it will take something id in the int. Method name is find by age greater than. So what will be the equivalent query? So it will become something same. Select E from employee E where here you can say int age, doesn't matter, where age is greater than whatever value you are providing. Here you can create method name like this, that find by salary, find by salary. One clause is there whose name is between, find by salary between. Here you can provide two range, double minimum and double maximum value. So you can provide minimum and maximum values and you will get salary in that between range. What will be the equivalent query here? Select E from employee E where E dot salary, or you can mention everywhere because we are using E clause. So E dot name, E dot age, and here you can say E dot salary between question mark and question mark. So like that the query will be. Yes, you can take int parameter also. What is this even a question? You can take int parameter here. Generally salary is in double because of tax deduction and all. It will always come in point values. You can create int also, doesn't matter. So like this you can create, and you can create something like this. Find by first name or find by first name or last name. Now here or condition is written, means either it will check first name or last name. Now what will be the query here? Select E from employee where E dot first name or whatever the column value is, E dot first name equals to something, or or E dot last name equals to something. So something like that you will be writing queries. Just method name will work here. Now let's try to create this kind of method that just now we created. So here this R we will keep too small. Now whatever method just now we created, first name or last name, that we will try to create. So here we will create a list of, or let's say create method first. Find by, it's permanent. You have to write this. Find by f name or l name, and it will accept one string as value. Return type, there can be more than one person. Find by f name or l name, or means anyone, right? Either first name or last name. Now here you can provide the same thing. So sr dot find by f name or l name, and I will provide the value s. I will provide the value s. Let's execute it. And something error is there. We'll check. Error creating bean. Okay, so the reason is it will accept two arguments when we are providing only one. So that is again becomes a spelling mistake here, or you can say a logical mistake, that you are saying find either by first name or last name. So I will say that it will take string s1 or it will take string s2. Now we'll go there and we'll provide two string. So we can say Srikar or S, like this. We'll execute. Now if something is matching either first name or last name, it will try to fetch. And we got the same student. So like that you can create. Now these are called keywords related to data JPA methods, or you can say supported keywords by Spring Data JPA. That is only interesting thing here. Supported keywords by Spring Data JPA for creating methods. So whenever you want to create some methods, following are the supported keywords. Here we will write keyword and their explanation, or you can say description, why we will use them. So at first you will have and or. So these are the logical operators. Whenever you want to write something like and or, you can write like and or. Second is and equals. Is and equals. Is equal. They are used to check equality. They are used to check equality. Then you will have a between. It checks for range. The between keyword will be checking the range. Less than and greater than. They are written like that only. Less than and greater than. And why they are used? Comparison operator. They are comparison operators. Comparison keywords you can say, as well as comparison operator. Then you have like. You have like and not like. Pattern matching. They are used for pattern matching. Second is starts with. One is starts with, ending with, starts with, ending with, and containing. And containing. It's for like, uh, you can say again a pattern matching only, but something like this. In between means, I will show this to you, the example, you'll understand there. So you have this starts with, ending with, and containing. Then in, you have in and not in. They are used for set based matching. Set based matching. What is set? Like a list? No, it's not like list. Unordered collection of item. How? What do you mean by unordered? Can be any order. Are you sure? Any order means any explanation? Sure. Think again. Not in this project. We'll create it somewhere else. Here, test project. This is a normal class, right? Now tell me, will it not follow the same order? Hmm? Apple, banana, orange. Oh wow, it is following the same in order. And this is set. Unique object. I think list also have unique objects. Huh? List also have unique objects. No, no. Wow. This is called complete bookish language. Now, what will be the output of this code if I'm printing the list? 1 to 1. It means that here duplicates are allowed. And when we were seeing the set, so the first thing is they don't maintain the order. So that is completely half information. The complete information is that set is a interface in Java which is implemented by two direct classes. The first direct class is has set. The second direct class is linked has set. And when it comes to hedge set, it does not maintain insertion order. It does not maintain insertion order, but when it comes to linked list, it maintains that. So don't say that set does not maintain the answer. They maintains. Just has set does not maintain. And linked has set maintains the insertion order. We have one more here that is called tree set. What is tree set? Tree set. Tree set will follow the by default ascending order. It will sort your data automatically. So whether it is a string or number doesn't matter. So here if you have created a set by using tree set, and you are trying to add some of the values, so it will automatically sort the values in ascending order like a tree. Tree is thicker at the bottom and thinner at the top, so like that it will do. So let's come back to our thing here, what I have written. Set based matching. So in and not in will do the set based matching. Is null, is not null. And what it will check? It will check for null values. True false is also there. Boolean check. You can apply the Boolean check. Now let's try to see this starts with and ending with. Okay, we'll try to write this particular example. So in the student repository, I will create that. I will say find by f name. Find by first name starts with string str, or you can say string name. Now it will return you the name of student whose name starts with a particular string. So we'll try to fetch it. Find by first name starts with, and first name starts with, I will write here, means I don't know the full name, but I know something as SR. If there is any student whose first name is starting with SR, that's it. We'll start, and here we got the student. Got it? Now we'll create one more method in the same type. It's very easy to execute queries here. Very easy. We will get a list of student, find by last name, or you can say find by first name. And with this starts with, I have written ending with, means the how name is ending. Find by f name ending with. Now I have remembered the ending of the name of student. I don't remember what was in the starting. So same thing you can do here also. Find by f name ending with. And here I will write ending with ek. Ending with ek. Now I am trying to find a student or I am trying to find multiple student whose first name is ending with ek. Let's see if you are getting it or not. And here we got one student whose first name is Abhishek, ending with ek. Got it. Now you can write contains as well. So list of student find by f name contains string str. Now you are providing something from between. Let's say the student name is Abhishek. Student name is Abhishek, and you will provide this HIS. Now you are finding the first name which contains HIS, but it should be a regular sequence, regex. So let's try to fetch it. Find by F name contains HIS. You can find any two, three word, one word, it will find, right? And here we got Abhishek. Now I will write here small a, means I am trying to fetch a student whose name has a. Doesn't matter anywhere, starting, ending, between, but first name should have a. Now we'll start it. We got Shrikar as well as we got Abhishek also, because both the names are having a. So is it not following any lowercase uppercase syndrome? Because Abhishek has capital A only and Shrikar has small a. It is just finding the matter. It is finding the alphabet. It does not care about capital letters or small letters. Okay, we got both the student. Now we are getting a student whose first name has a, contains. Now very complex queries we are writing very easily. And don't think that these are the only keywords. These are the keywords that you will use in your real project. But I will show you the official documentation for this. These are the actual keywords. And or is equals. I have written all the important ones. Order by is there, not in, ignore case is there. Means first name, ignore case. But automatically it is ignoring in content, so we don't need to do. So these are the keywords. I think one or two only I missed. Like distinct is there, and before after is there. It will be used in date. So you can create methods like this very easily. Second is, if you don't want to create methods by yourself, you can use queries as well, because some people have a habit of being self dependent. So you can write your manually writing JPQL query. How we can write manual JPQL query? Okay, what if I want to perform a join here? What if, so we'll close this student repository and we will call the employee one. We also have employee, right? Spring data jpa employee repository here. So we did all the joins here. Now here only, what if I want to do a join, right? Any join. This is the, let's say, left join. Same query I will write by using method name. Now create a query. Shrikar will say the answer. Convert this query into a method. This query. Select e dot name as employee name, d dot name as department name. Convert this query into a method name. You have 2 minutes. You can think. And everybody has to try it. Convert this query into method. Hmm? Find by employee. No. Find by employee name and department name. So there you have to provide the values, right? If you are writing find by employee name and department name, then you have to write methods. Means there are at least values you have to write. Hmm? Find by department. Okay, let's try to create it by the way. And we will check and after that we will write. So here we'll try to convert a query. So let's say left join query only I will convert. Select means find by. So simple. Find by employee name. Here you are having name. So how you will convert e dot name? Because field name is only name. Find by name. Find by name. How you will convert it? Think again. You can take more 2 minutes. There is no hurry to do here. Got it? No. So there arises a concept of mapping. No, it's wrong. First of all, there arises a concept of mapping. Whenever, generally, there is a requirement if you want to perform joins using JPA methods. Otherwise, writing a query is all you need. But if you have a intention to perform join using JPA methods, then we have to use entity mapping. We have to map our entities, and that mapping is called one to one mapping, many to one mapping, one to many mapping, and at last many to many mapping. Only case if you want to perform JPA joins by using JPA method. Only condition, then you have to map. That we will see tomorrow. Now we'll write custom JPQL. So that will say JPQL. Simply we have already written the def. We can write custom JPQL if whenever we don't want to use JPA methods. However, JPQL looks similar to SQL but not exactly same. It will not be exactly same, right? It will look like SQL but it will not be same. So let's try to write a query here, and we'll go back to the same repository student. Here we'll create custom JPQL. They should have at the rate of query annotation. First need. Second need, they should have a return type and the method name. Now here you can create any method. It doesn't matter. Find student you can write. Okay. Now what we'll do, we will create a query here, and query we will write directly, no value, because this is not native query. If your query is native, then you have to write query value equals to something and then native query equals to true. This is what you need to do. But whenever you are writing JPQL, you can directly pass your string. Now select S instead of asterisk. You have to write a variable name. That select is to, you can say select student, select as, select is to, whatever. Select as from student S means selecting student as from the student table. I have to write like this. Select as from student S where ID. So you don't have to write ID. You have to write s dot ID where s dot ID is greater than, and whenever you have to provide a clause, so you will provide something like this, something like this. Let's try it. So student ID greater than, and here it will accept one int ID. We will execute the same method now and check what is the error here. And method name you can create something like this, find student by JPQL, something like this. So here find student by JPQL, and we have to provide one int ID here. Okay, like that we are doing. I'll execute it. Error. An error is predicted here. If you read the error log here, this is the error log. The could not create query for this reason is JDBC style parameter are not supported. Means if you are writing traditional JDBC parameters like question mark, they are not supported here. If they are not supported here, then what we can write? Because we have to provide some value here. We have to provide some value. So instead of question mark, what will be our preferred way? So we can try by writing colon. We can try by writing colon, and colon will have the same value that you are accepting here. So let's try to write colon ID, colon ID. But now also it will be different. Let's say here you will accept some value. Select S from student S where S dot ID is greater than colon value. Execute the same code again. You are writing 5. So we should get the data of Abhishek. Same error. Means different kind of error, but still. And again we know the error. What is the problem? We'll just scroll, and it will say something like this, that validation failed for query for method. There is no validation. Means whenever you are writing JPQL with colon and value, and you are providing one ID value, to whom? If you are writing question mark in JDBC, it will take that in question mark. But if you are writing JPQL, for whose value it is? So here you have to provide a annotation that is called param, and it stands for parameter. What does it stands for? It stands for parameter. Now param will have a string value that this int id you are providing for the parameter value. Got it or not? This int id you are providing for the parameter value. We'll execute the code again, and hitting with the error again. So no problem. We'll just scroll down and here check. Could not create query, and the reason is again it is saying that validation is failed. It is saying something like this problem. It is saying something like this problem. If you check carefully what we are doing here, there is a query. There is no problem in this. Select S from student S where S dot ID is greater than something like this we are doing. Let's try to write a equals to clause. So we will say select S from student S where S dot email is equals to colon email, because there is the validation problem. We'll sort it out. So now we will provide the parameter email here. We will provide the parameter email, and what will be the data type for email? String email. Now let's understand it here. Now we will provide the email ID here. Okay, I will execute. And same error again. We'll go back. Hope again it is a same error, right? Validation failed for query. For method, public abstract java.util com.jpa.repository java.lang.string means whatever data type that I am writing there, it's not taking that. And here we are providing the same thing, that s.email colon email ID. So let's try to understand it fully now. Here you are providing a query. This query can return a list of student, and this is the method name, that find student by JPQL. Is it a syntax error? So here I will write find student by email just for a confirmation. Same we will change here as well, that find student by email. Same error means there is no problem in the method syntax. Now, whenever you are running these kind of things, it is always expected to receive these kind of errors in custom JPQL. That is why they developed method system that try to write method for maximum number of time. But if we are insisting here, then what will be the problem? So at first, let's search this query interface, and this query is provided by Spring Framework, then Data JPA. I think I have already shown it to you. This one. This is a query. Now here you can provide value, count query. This is the method. If you just read this particular line, this one, just read this one, not this one. This one. So directly on repositories query method. So whatever JPA method is giving you, it is using internally that only. Let's try to create a very simple query. That will be something like this, that select S from student S. Select S from student S, where you're not writing any condition. So remove it, and we will match the arguments. So this time no validation. Again the same error, right? This time we are not providing any argument, and again the same kind of error. So let's see. Reason validation failed for query method. Now it is saying that validation failed. Now there is a question, what it is not able to validate. So in the query, do you have something as validate? No. Here we don't have anything as validate. Then what it is trying to validate here? I am writing select as student. Now if I am writing a normal query, select asterisk from student, so asterisk not allowed because it is a native query kind of thing and you can't write. So here we'll replace it, that select as from student, like execute it. Same. Now validation failed. Again the validation failed. Now what it is actually validating? It should be validating something. Think what it is trying to validate now. Now we are not even providing anything, right? Are we providing anything? Sorry. Return type should be list and we have written integer. What is our return type? Our return type is also list, right? See the query. Query. What is wrong in query? And it's so simple. Asterisk is not allowed. If you are writing a JPQL, then asterisk is not allowed. Then you have to convert it to a native query, that value equals to this, and then you have to write native query that you are writing the native query equals to true. Then asterisk will work. If you are writing JPQL, asterisk will not work. You have to write a normal variable that select stu from student like this. Okay, one more hint I will give you. You can read these kind of things. Hope you have already read. So you can find it if you try to. Or let's better check the error that we are getting there. So you will try to understand. So here I am saying that select S from student S. We'll execute self find student by email method. We'll just check it. And this is the common error here, that every time if we are providing any argument, if we are not providing any argument, validation failed for query for method. Public abstract java.util.list com.jp.repository student repository dot find student by email. What validation? Here we'll try something different this time. Now, if you are writing, let me first show you something. If you are writing native query, if you are writing the native query is very simple. Select asterisk from a student. This will be the native query when you want all the student. Now, if we want to write the derived query or JPQL, let's try to change something here. So first thing I will change this. Select S from student S. Just for a convention, let's try to do this thing. Select S from student S. We'll execute. And what we got? The data. So understood something? It is case sensitive. JPQL is case sensitive. So let's say if I am writing this from in a smaller case, we'll execute. Here we got, and that also I want to tell you. Here I will write a select in a smaller case. We'll execute the method again. And again we got the data. Now only one thing is left. That is your table class means entity class name. We'll execute it again. So it is case sensitive in terms of entity class name. Your student class is with S capital. You can fetch it by using the same thing. I will mention it that this is how you can write it. JPQL is case sensitive in terms of entity class name. Rather, it is not case sensitive, but when you are writing the entity class name, it is case sensitive. Now, same thing we will do, that select S from student S, where S dot ID is greater than colon value, and I will provide a param annotation, that parameter value I am providing, which will be in int id. Okay, and here I will provide 5, and we are just printing the list. We'll execute, and we got a student whose id is greater than 5. So the only validation problem is here your entity class should be with how you are writing that. Okay, so that only is JPQL. Rather it works same. Question mark is substituted by colon and a variable name, or you can say parameter, and you have to provide that parameter by writing param annotation. We'll see this tomorrow as well. We'll do mapping, we'll do joins that left. Okay, so these kind of queries you can provide, and that is called JPQL. However, method names are sufficient in all the cases, but even if you want to create, you can create. Okay, fine guys, we'll connect again tomorrow. Bye bye, take care.